The Buffalo Bills have gone all in. They've made the move. The big splash for Stefon Diggs. For a number one wide receiver for Josh Allen. Stefon Diggs has been traded to the Buffalo Bills. The Bills have taken their chips. They've gone all in. And they've said, the AFC East, that's ours. The Buffalo Bills have their number one wide receiver in Stefon Diggs to join Josh Allen, John Brown, and Cole Beasley. I'm going to break down this trade, my thoughts, analysis, a complete breakdown of the Stefon Diggs trade going from Minnesota to the Buffalo Bills. Before I dive into this huge trade between the Vikings and Bills, make sure that you do spike the like button, and of course, subscribe to the Bottom Line View if you haven't already for more NFL reactions just like this. And comment below your opinion. What do you think of this massive blockbuster trade by the Bills and the Minnesota Vikings? Let me know in the comment section below. So coming into this free agency, I really wanted to see if the Bills were going to go all in. I really wanted to see where the Bills were at in terms of believing in this team to make a run in the AFC. And it appears that they are all in. It appears that they think it's their time to make that run, to push with this team and Josh Allen. The trade. The Bills are trading a first-round pick and a fifth-round pick, as well as a sixth this season, along with a fourth in 2021 next season for Vikings wide receiver Stefon Diggs and a 2020 seventh-round pick. So a seventh-round pick this season. The Buffalo Bills are getting one of the best pure route runners in the NFL in Stefon Diggs. They're getting a player that is a perfect fit for their offense. Stefon Diggs is a receiver that can play on the outside and he can burn you for a 70-yard touchdown. He's a receiver that could play in the slot and run all the little short routes. He has the agility to cut in and out very quickly. He's great in his release off the line of scrimmage to get past the cornerback. And he is dangerous down the field, which makes teams respect his downfield speed. Diggs, according to Matt Harmon, is the best route runner in the NFL. Now, I don't know if I quite agree with that, but he's definitely in the conversation for his versatility and for his just pure quickness and explosive ability. Diggs has been really good for the Vikings, but honestly, I believe in a better suited offensive scheme for Diggs, he would be an even better, more productive wide receiver. And especially considering that Adam Thielen has taken a lot of the receptions and targets away from him, I believe he could put up even better numbers in Buffalo. I think he's the type of number one wide receiver that can change an offense. And I've said many times that in the NFL today, you need that number one target to scare defenses. You need that number one target that makes a team respect you, a defensive coordinator respect your offense, that dictates a defense. If you have Stefon Diggs on the field now, if you're Buffalo, that dictates a defense. That makes you put, let's say for New England, a Stephon Gilmore on Diggs. Or that makes you double team a Stefon Diggs and put Gilmore somewhere else, maybe on John Brown, just for an example. That will then have a trickle-down effect on the rest of the offense. It's more difficult to stop the run because you're worried about the ball over the top. You're worried about now Cole Beasley in the slot with a one-on-one matchup. So it changes the way defenses play you when you have that type of number one receiver. And I think every very good team needs that difference maker at wide receiver. John Brown is very good, but he is much better as a complementary number two option in this offense. And I believe that's exactly what they want him to be. And I think that's exactly what he's going to be for Josh Allen and the Bills. And this is going to really... We're going to see how good Josh Allen can be with this type of receiver on his offense. This is a missing piece of the Bills' offense. This is the missing piece of potentially the Bills in general. And they had the salary cap to do it. They had the draft capital to do it. And I respect that they went all in. Now, I will say for the Vikings fans out there, this is a good haul for Stefon Diggs. This is a lot of picks. I mean, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 picks that you could potentially replace Diggs with and add some players to your team. If you're the Vikings, I think there's 2 ways to go about this. 1, your offense is not centered around your passing attack. Your offense is centered around running the football and working off the play action. It's built off of your defense. Now you kind of loosen up some salary cap. You can add some players back to that defense. You can add some players on the offensive line or whatever it may be. And you're taking some pressure off Kirk Cousins, who had a little bit of a friction type relationship with Diggs in the past. That is one concern about Stefon Diggs, is he has had a little bit of a personality to him, but I mean, what receiver doesn't, right? And he kind of has been a little outspoken for a while now about leaving Minnesota, about wanting to go somewhere else, and has caused some issues in the locker room. So you have to be aware of that if you're a Bills fan. But I don't think it will be an issue under Sean McDermott in a new place for at least the first season. We'll have to see how it develops and that relationship between Allen and Diggs develops. But if you're talking about the winner of this trade, it's Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen gets a number 1 wide receiver, a guy that can complement his big arm and go down the field, a guy that separates in his routes, whether that's in the slot or outside. I mean, Diggs is a dynamic playmaker and I think is a borderline top 10 receiver. I would put him somewhere between 10 and 15 most likely, but he's definitely in that conversation and has the ability to have his best season yet in 2020 with the Buffalo Bills. Really, when the Bills came down to it in the playoffs or against better teams, better defenses, they just struggled to have that number 1 receiver that could dictate a defense and that could separate with consistency on a big play like third down. That's really all it was. Now you have 3 different receivers that can separate at a pretty good level. I mean, Cole Beasley's a really quality slot receiver. John Brown is now a very good number 2 after just playing as a number 1 in 2019. And then you add Diggs to the conversation. You have Singletary at running back. You have Knox at tight end. I mean, this is an offense that just got a heck of a lot more dynamic, and you add one of the best defenses in the league to it, and you're looking at one of the best rosters in the AFC, period, bar none. And you have to say, you know, can this actually be their season to win the AFC East and supplant the Patriots and be the team to beat out the Patriots? I mean, it's been a very long time since that's happened. Can the Bills do it? That's the biggest question. Free agency isn't over. The draft isn't over. We'll have to see if they continue to make moves. I think they will. But this is an excellent start for the Buffalo Bills, and this is a massive move that could potentially have impacts on the AFC, the NFC, the Vikings, the Bills. If you're the Vikings, I think you're looking to replace Diggs somehow, some way. You're not going to get a Diggs, but you do need to look at your receiver position now because Thielen is not enough. Kyle Rudolph, Irv Smith are nice tight ends, but you need another receiver option in this offense. He won't be as good as Diggs, but you need to add it. This offense is already not good from a traditional drop back pass game. You just signed Kirk Cousins long term. He's going to want a receiver in there. So I really like this move for the Bills. It was a fair trade from the Vikings perspective. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised by how much the Vikings got back, considering that Diggs basically said on Twitter today, I'm out. I'm not playing for you today. So I think considering all of that, it was a good deal for both sides and a fair compensation for the Vikings. But this is a big-time win for the Bills, for Josh Allen, for Sean McDermott, and their chances in the 2020 season. Guys, let me know in the comment section below. What do you think of this move? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you hate it for the Vikings? Do you hate it for the Bills? Let me know in the comment section below. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And Gronk spike the like button if you enjoyed what I had to say. It's Mitch of TheBottomLineView. Diggs is a Buffalo Bill. Peace out.